If depression was a real thing, I would have absolutely not been depressed. But luckily for me, I don't believe in depression, so I couldn't possibly be depressed. So all you have to do is sit there, gather your chi, do Aikido, smoke cigarettes, and watch the time go by. And we had no idea how long we were going to be in there for, but
that was the hard part.
That was the hardest part. But you know what, Tristan? Very important. Today it's us. But if any of you want to live the life that you're hoping to live, if any of you want to truly be people who are free and sovereign and free of mind and free of geographical area, and you want to be able to do what you want and say what you want, and even if you're a good person and you believe in God and you help people and you donate money to charity and you do all these good things and they still don't like you, you have to understand, you're not just supporting us, you're literally protecting yourself for the future, because we're getting to a level of insanity now where nobody is safe.
Yeah.
The BBC and Lucy, with their stories, literally, when I sat there with Lucy, she said, this imaginary person we've made up 9 years ago said you were controlling. I said, who is she? They said, we're not going to tell you. But 9 years ago, I was controlling to an imaginary person. How can I answer that question? What does that mean? Does that mean 9 years ago I said, no, you can't have a handbag, I won't buy you a handbag? Does that make me controlling? Financially controlling because I wouldn't give her my money 9 years ago from an imaginary person? None of this is real, and they can attack absolutely anybody with it. No man is safe from this. No man. It's scary, because if you're watching this at home going, that probably won't happen to me, it will. And you know what's most scary? When it happens to us, the world knows, the world cares. When it happens to you, you might be sitting in that jail cell, nobody knows, nobody cares, nobody talks about it, there's no public outcry or outrage. Then what you gonna do?
Yeah.
All they do is lie. And the main primary objective of the lies, you also have to understand this, when they lie, because even when we had charges dropped, they said the charge was upgraded, which is insane. When they lie, what they're trying to do is convince the public you're guilty in advance, so that if you get a guilty charge, everybody just accepts it.
Yes.
That's the whole point. It's brainwashing. But I really believe the legacy media is losing power in real time. And with places like Rumble and free speech and these things coming out, we have a chance of fighting back and breaking the matrix exactly like we said we would. We can be true to God. We can be true to ourselves. We can tell the truth. And we're going to talk in this podcast not only about our experiences in jail, but also all the different ways you can escape the matrix and you can live a life of truth, because that is not as easy to do as it used to be. You don't want to smoke. You don't want, it's like fire. It's more than smoke. It's yoga fire. You don't want the fire. I'm a nice man. I go through life. I'm peaceful. But what I've been sitting there for weeks and weeks in a dungeon gathering my chi, and then you want to start a fight near the washing machine with me? Let's be out your mind. Crazy. Let me find my jail tweets.
And this is when Andrew talks about, being strong, being imposing, being masculine. Nobody tried to start a fight on me. I didn't run into the same people Andrew did. But if I walked into a room full of prisoners, they looked at me and thought, fuck, I hope that guy's not a rapist. I hope that guy's not violent. I didn't have to walk in there and think, I hope these guys aren't violent, these guys aren't dangerous. Because I spent years preparing for any situation. Now, did I think I was going to go to jail? No. And neither do you, but let me tell you something. Here was my method to stay out of jail. I thought, if I never commit any crimes, I won't go to jail. This is what I thought until maybe 1 year ago, when the Matrix started attacking us in this way. And it's very sad, because going back to the story that 2 years ago we formed an organized criminal gang to steal TikTok money. When I was 17, I didn't have any money. I could have dealt drugs in Luton. When I was 19, I didn't have any money. I could have went debt collecting for gangsters in Luton. I come from a very bad town filled with a lot of bad people, and I could have easily been a bad person. But what did I do? I stayed flat broke and dedicated myself in the kickboxing gym. I stayed flat broke and worked jobs making sandwiches with a stupid little red hat on. Jobs that a lot of people would say are humiliating. I don't think they're humiliating. I'm proud of myself for working those jobs, and I'm proud of any man out there making an honest living. I did everything legally my entire life until allegedly at 33 years of age and a net worth of $100 million, I began to brainwash people so I could steal insignificant amounts of money from their TikTok accounts.
Escape is possible. I simply close my eyes. It's very interesting what life without electronics will do to you for 93 days. And it was only 93 days. We didn't have a phone. We didn't touch a computer or any of these things. And we're making a joke and making it all lighthearted now. But truthfully, it has a very profound effect on your mind. And I promised when I left jail that I'd retain some of the lessons and retain some of the gratefulness and also retain my ability to truly imagine again. You can't imagine anymore. Your brain's been attacked and destroyed by TikTok and the internet. You can't imagine, but when you're in a jail cell in the perfect silence, you can imagine completely and utterly in the dark, in the middle of the night when you can't sleep. That's when you can imagine again. And what's actually most upsetting and disappointing to me is that since I've left jail, despite my dedication towards retaining this ability, it's nearly impossible to truly use my imagination once again. Once you have electronics and devices and women are messaging you and all this garbage is happening in your life, you lose your ability to imagine. And it's a shame because it's a superpower. We talk about manifestation in and of itself, but I think imagining things, you can obtain the results. Now, I'm going to say something like I always say with basically no scientific evidence, but I know I'm never wrong about anything. So
Nice.
I'm just going to say it.
Nice. Dr. Andrew.
Dr. Andrew, if you imagine something truly and fully, if you truly completely imagine it, to a degree, your body will react to it. Let me give you an example. If you truly imagined yourself at war, day after day, you imagined yourself under attack, defeating the Matrix agents, you're top G, you're walking through life, the agents are coming, you're doing Aikido and you're destroying them, and you're the most powerful man in the world. If you truly imagined that and felt it in your mind to the point where you thought you were there and you felt it in your body, I would guarantee you, after X amount of time, you would have a higher testosterone level and your muscles would be stronger than if you didn't. I will guarantee you that. Now, someone's going to come along and say, Andrew just made that up. I don't care if I just made it up because that's what I do. That's what I did in jail. I imagined and gathered my chi and I became stronger than I've ever been. If you truly believe it in your mind, then your body will react. What does Morpheus say? The body cannot live without the mind. They're absolutely and utterly linked. So that's one of my first jail tweets. Let me